Hello friends, welcome to Bhagavad Gita Practitioner. Today we will discuss about the 4, 5 and 6th verse of chapter 1 which has 47 verses. So let us first read it in Sanskrit, then in Hindi, and then we'll go by English, and then we'll see the commentary. So let's start with Sanskrit. Atra Shura Maheshvasa Bhima Arjuna Sa Yudhi युयुधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथ धृष्टकेतुश्चैकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरुजित् कुन्तिभोजश्च शैबश्च नरपुङ्गवः युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्त उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपद्याश्च सर्व एव महारथ. So this was in English, Sanskrit. Let's go with the Hindi one. 4, 5 and 6. 4, 5, 6. इस सेना में बड़े बड़े धनुष वाले तथा युद्ध में भीम और अर्जुन के समान शूरवीर सात्यकी और विराट तथा महारथी राजा द्रुपद, धृष्टकेतु और चेकितान तथा बलवान काशीराज पुरोजित, कुंती भोज और मनुष्य में श्रेष्ठ शैब्य, पराक्रमी युधामन्यु तथा बलवान उत्तमौजा, सुभद्रा पुत्र अभिमन्यु एवं द्रौपदी के 5 पुत्र, ये सभी महारथी हैं. Now let us read this 4, 5, 6 verse in English too. There are in this army heroes wielding mighty bows and equal in military prowess to Bhima and Arjuna, Satyaki and Virat, and the Maharathi warrior chief Drupad, Drishtaketu, Chekitan, and the valiant king of Kashi and Purajit, Kunti Bhoj and Shaibya, the best of men, and mighty Yudhamanyu, and valiant Uttamaja, Abhimanyu, the son of Subhadra, and the 5 sons of Draupadi. All of them are Maharathi warrior chiefs. So this is the description that Duryodhan is giving to his general, who is Dronacharya. Duryodhan, as we have seen earlier, is the rigid material desire, and Dronacharya is the subconscious or past habit. Now let us check what all these warriors represent symbolically according to meditation point of view of Bhagavad Gita. So Arjun, the first character is Arjun, which represents self-control. So Arjun is the main hero also of Bhagavad Gita, and it's represented by the psychological virtue that is self-control. Now we'll first see all the characters and the representation of psychological representation. Then he says first was Arjun, then second was Bhima, which is represented by life control, or we say Pranavayu, the Pran Urja, or the life energy. And then he says Yuyudhan, that is the divine devotion, or the Shraddha, we say in Hindi, divine devotion. And then Uttamajas, that is vital celibacy, that is the vitalness in a person. Then Chekitan is represented by the psychological virtue, that is spiritual memory. Now the next one is Virat, that is ecstasy. In Hindi we say it Samadhi. And then came Kashiraj. Kashiraj is the discriminative intelligence. So these are the fighters on the side of Pandavas. So these are actually the symbolic representation according to meditation point of view of Bhagavad Gita, because these are the virtues that we have in ourselves as a psychological virtues that fight with their opposites. So Drupad is represented by extreme dispassion. In Hindi we say Vaira Agya. And then come Drishtaketu, mental resistance. Mental resistance. That is, these are the things that I am not going to do. And then come Shaibya, that is mental adherence, that these are the things that I'm going to do. So Shaibya is the do, and the previous one was don't do. That is similar to the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, Yam and Niyam. Yam is that these are the things that one should not do in order to evolve spiritually. And these are the things that one should do, that is mental adherence, Shaibya, that is in order to evolve spiritually or attain their target. Then Kunti Bhoj, this character is represented by right posture. Mostly we have seen in meditation, many of the saints or yogis put emphasis on sitting right. Our backbone should be comfortable and right. Our neck should be right. Just like the water flows in the, if the water is flowing in the upward direction, the pipe should be right so that the water can flow. In the same way, if the energy has to flow, the pipe should be right, the spinal cord. So Kunti Bhoj is the right posture. Yudhamanyu is the life force control, that is represented by Yudhamanyu. And then Purujit, that is interiorization. In the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it is called Pratyahar. Pratyahar means bringing our attention back from the external to the internal. Like most of the time, our senses are outside. We are looking outside. We are hearing outside. We are smelling outside. We are touching outside. Everything is outside. So interiorization, Purujit means pratyahar, that is taking our senses inside, like watch when we close our eyes and we tend to stop the outside external noises or voices, and we start interiorizing our feelings. That's the time, that's pratyahar. Then comes Saubhadra, that is self mastery. So, so it's not Saubhadra, it's not Subhadra, it's Saubhadra. So it's self mastery, and that was actually this is Draupadi, Kundalini Shakti, the power or the serpent power in our body. That's called Kundalini Shakti. Then comes Draupadi's five sons, which are the five spinal centers in our body. Five sons of Draupadi, they are represented by the five centers: Muladhar, Manipur, Muladhar, Swadhisthana, Manipur, Anahat. So in this way, Vishuddhi. So these are the five centers of the Kundalini. And then comes the next one. Here is the all 13 characters that they have represented in the 4, 5, and 6th shloka, or the verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, which has 47 verses. So slowly and gradually we will get to know that all the characters or all the warriors have some representation, according to meditation point of view, have some representation of some psychological virtues, as well as some negative disempowering forces which are in oneself. Everyone has it, the positive empowering forces also and negative disempowering forces also. It's just that we need to check whether we are moving upward or downward towards the positive empowering forces, or downward to the negative and disempowering forces. That is, we are going towards Pandavas or towards Kauravas, because in the further chapters we will see that if we'll move towards Pandavas, the divine qualities, or then it will be liberating for us. We can spend this life journey happily and successfully if we move towards Pandava. So all these things we'll check in the later verses. Today was the 4, 5, 6 verse, in which we have seen there were number of warriors, which represents different psychological virtues that we have in ourselves. Till tomorrow we'll see a different verse. Till then, करने में सावधान, होने में प्रसन्न. Jai Shri Krishna.